This is part of the Tracking the Tar Sands Tri-City Youth Tour, which started on Thursday in Toronto and left right away for Sarnia. So we were in Sarnia and we visited the Shell Corunna refinery. We were able to meet with Ron Plain from Environmental Defense.
We have 63 petrochemical refineries within 25 kilometers of us. And that doesn't include all of the offshoots that come in. So you're looking at hundreds of companies.
And then the next morning we woke up, we went to Detroit, and we were able to have a great experience there in southwestern Detroit around the Marathon refinery and speaking with community members in that neighborhood.
And I think it was in 2005, and I don't know if any of you remember, but there was a huge blackout in the Midwest. Okay, during that blackout, the city of Detroit had no electricity, no air. I mean, Lord have mercy, no electricity, no water, almost no air. And what happened to Marathon was that the plant automatically shuts itself down. But that's a very dangerous situation. And what occurred was a concession of explosions at Marathon. Of course, community had no idea of what was going on. What happened was Marathon called some of the surrounding communities, predominantly the white communities, Melvindale, Dearborn, and Allen Park. Called them, told them something is happening, you should evacuate. For the city of Detroit, they called 911. Needless to say, residents in Detroit area did not evacuate. So that became a problem, and that was the very first issue that we started working on, was emergency procedures, evacuation policies, and all this other kind of stuff. And then as recently, I think about 3 years ago, we were informed by Marathon that they were going to have $2.some billion expansion. And that expansion would include all of this stuff. Anyway, they were asking the city of Detroit for a tax abatement and received something close to, I think, about $500 million in tax abatement in exchange for a promise for some jobs. And we're still looking for the jobs. Within Southwest Detroit, there's a physical divide, and it separates the African American community from the Latino community, even though we have African Americans and whites that live here in this area. But it causes, as an organizer, it causes a big time problem when you can't get all the people together on the same page and they're all suffering from the same problem. They built a 150 truck over here at the Rouge plant. Ford Rouge. Okay, do you see this big object that looks like a spaceship or something? That's a part of the $2.2 billion expansion that's going to receive the tar sands. There's another company that's just opening up called Ajax Asphalt. These tanks go all along the I-75. You look right here, that's a recreational facility. A little bit further down, there's a school. So the whole idea of these schools sitting next to toxic polluting facilities is a huge issue. What is the environmental impact on the health of the students that attend these schools?
As a child, I used to go down 4th Street. My dad would take us, when I say a child, like 9 years old, I can remember. That was a long time ago. And I would remember going down 4th Street, headed to downtown Detroit. There were 3 storage tanks. It was Speedway 79. I don't know when all of these storage tanks ended up being here. You know anything about urban renewal? You know, supposedly, urban renewal supposedly is for the betterment of the community, but it decimates a community. It relocates people from people. I went through an urban renewal in River Rouge, and our family homes were taken. 3 of our family homes that were built.
She said to me one time, she said, Teresa, this is going to be nothing but a graveyard. It's already a graveyard. Every time somebody died, we need to stop petitioning and ask them, let us bury our people right in our yard. Put a headstone so people can be identified. Cancer, whatever, heart disease.
And if Ms. Anderson has, I know she has told you about what the meaning of environmental justice, I call it injustice, because it's poor people, people of color, people who don't generally have a voice.
Our people that are elected to help us, we're finding this out, don't they know it? Shouldn't they look out for us? No, they done got fat on the hog and rich in their pocket, and they care less about you, me, and anybody else. It takes people to be concerned and understand that human life is so precious, so valuable, that nothing, not a dollar, not a penny, not $1 billion should be able to buy someone's life.
Thankfully, in my community, people, as you say, women, we're beginning to speak up, speak out. We go to meetings. There's an asphalt company that wants to come in. And so we have challenged, we're asking for a hearing. So we are doing all these things at the same time, knowing that the city government, in all probability, will rule in the favor of the asphalt company. Why? Not concerned about our health, but dollars. This asphalt company is going to bring in 6 jobs.
It's all about dollars. We asked the city of Detroit, we asked Homeland Security, we even asked Marathon, if a disaster should occur, what do the masses of people do? There is no plan for the people, only plans for industry. They're working with industry. They're using federal dollars to protect industry. Your dollars, who for those of us who live in the state of Michigan, the city of Detroit, and the United States, our tax dollars are going to be protecting industry. The people that have billions and billions of dollars that can protect themselves.
Anything that goes wrong at that refinery, what are we supposed to do? And how are we supposed to know how to do it?
And then one thing people say, oh, well, we got to try to associate what cancer comes from what carcinogenic or what toxin. So we get bombarded with the emissions that are coming from the refinery, which are benzenes, dioxides, toxins, whatever. Then we get this byproduct, which has different COs and VOCs that is bombarding. And then no one's done a study, not the government, step back and say, let's see what is happening to this community or any community in the nation and probably the world. Of all these different emissions coming together, what's the byproduct of that? That is the people are eating, drinking, breathing, walking, living, and the deterioration. They say, oh, it comes from poor home maintenance. If you got acid eating up your roof, they say you get a roof, lifespan of a roof supposed to be 30 years, you got to replace your roof every 10 years. Something's eating the roofs. So if it eats something like that, what you think about the human body? Yeah. There's a direct correlation of learning disabilities in children with diesel fuel emission.
Right now, partnering with Wayne State University to conduct some health research. Wayne State claims that they can trace the toxin back to its source and then connect it to the health problem. That would help this community out here tremendously, because the one thing that they feel is that no one believes them. So when they keep talking about, well, this is what's happening to me, or I see this gook on my car, on my windows, and all this other kind of stuff, no one is paying any attention to them.